Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, another brand new day. It was only when the first barrel of rum exploded, the vapors and highly flammable liquids spraying onto candles and the chandelier, that I realized maybe this had been a mistake. There were only 50 or so farmers in the inn, but the aged wood of the building and the thatched roofing went up like a torch, even as the farmers were panicking and burning, the other rum barrels exploding in turn. There was nowhere to run, and they all died, and that's how I accidentally pissed off the local mage who was trying to unionize them all. Yes, indeed. It is Monday, I believe, and it's 7:13, and I can just barely see the leaves of the forest outside, so the sun is coming up, and it is a brand new day. Definitely a good thing. Hopefully you are doing well, and I should have checked my shirt to make sure it was hanging symmetrically before I did this. Come on now. There we go. That's there. Thumbs up. Looking good. Excuse me. Last night I went walkies all the way up to Walmart and back, and it was cold, and I don't have a really good place to put stuff like coats or such in my room, and so I largely either put them on top of the hamster cages over there. I mean, this office studio space here, bedroom. So I largely just like put my coat back behind me or over there, or this thing over there, or back behind me on the floor. My cat's been sleeping on my jacket. And it's just a summer jacket, so it's not a heavy duty thing. And she's got cat hair all over it, and it looks like there was some cat food that spilled on it, so I gotta really wash it before I wear it. But last night it was really cold, starting to get really closer to freezing again. Thumbs up. So I went and put on 2 extra shirts. Now all I have, except for like 1 or 2 of these things like this, is just short sleeve shirts. I wear short sleeve shirts even like in the winter time. Generally I wear long sleeve shirts in the summer, short sleeve shirts in the winter. I'm just weird that way. Thumbs up. It's not even anything I plan on doing. It's just something I find myself doing, reaching for the shorter sleeve shirts when it's cold, going for the longer sleeve shirts when it's warm. Done it my whole life, don't understand why. But point being, I put on the 2 extra shirts and then this, and then went out walking, hoping it wasn't going to be too warm since I pump out the BTUs. Now at first I had these sleeves down while I was walking up to Walmart, and that got to be too warm. Now I still don't understand why, but wearing 4 shirts and then this was holding in too much heat. But all I have to do is just expose my forearms, and I cooled down like that. I went from too hot to very comfortable just by rolling my sleeves up. So I don't know why just exposing my forearms radiates enough heat that I cool down to a comfortable level, but thank goodness I do. So walked up, walked back, was kind of broken when I got back. It happens, I got fibromyalgia, I've got back injuries, I've got nerve damage, nerves heal, but scar tissue. I have scar tissue along my nerve stuff. I got scar tissue in my muscle stuff. I got scar tissue everywhere. I mean, battle scars. Wear them with pride. If you're alive and watching this, you are a survivor. Wear your battle scars with pride. I'm not ashamed of the damage that I've got to my body. I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm alive. Wear your battle scars with pride. So, but I've got, the scar tissue, which causes pain, causes stuff. They have found, the understanding of chronic pain that we have has gotten much, much more huge. It used to be thought that when people went to surgery, they came out of it just fine. No, it's like 2/3 of people that go through surgery have, for the rest of their lives, chronic pain issues. Thumbs up. That was one of the reasons. I had an aneurysm on one of my bursa inside of my wrist. In fact, I still kind of do, because you can see this little lump that raises when I turn my wrist like that. That is inside of my wrist, you know, inside of everybody's wrist, your wrist too. There are little sacs of fluid that are called bursa. They help lubricate and keep your joints running fine. Just like veins and arteries, you can have weak spots. And so when I bend my wrist, there's a weak spot in one of the bursa that it goes, the pressure builds up and it just goes bloop, and it balloons up and out. And it used to be just this big thing, like the size of a marble underneath there. And they were going to do surgery to cut it open and get it out to fix it that way. But then I went and talked to this other fellow. They used to call these things like a Gideon cyst. And that was because it was the type of treatment. What you would do was get the lump going, and the guy would take a Gideon's Bible and then go whap! And it would burst the cyst, which was, you know, not a cyst, you know, just the aneurysm, the bubble. And then the fluid would leak out in a way into your body, and it would be okay. So what the guy did was he took a needle with, I can't remember the steroid, it was some form of steroid or another. But he took a needle in a syringe, made sure there was no air in it. I mean, you can have actually a large amount of air pumped into your body before you're going to have any real damage. You just got to be careful. But he poked it in, wiggled it around to tear apart the capsule, squished the steroid in, and now it's been, I don't know, at least like 7-8 years. And while there's just this little lumpy part there, it's okay. So I'm glad I didn't have surgery. I've never had, aside from having my tonsils out when I was 5 years old, I've never had surgery past that. So no tonsils. Yay. I mean, I don't know. I've never had them except when I was very young. And while I remember being in the hospital, I have a memory of a memory where I must have been like 4 or 5 years old, crying because my throat hurt so much. I remember vomiting blood, because you bleed, and calling up my mother and asking her to please take me home because I hurt so much. And it broke her heart. She told me about that later. But what do you do? So aside from that, I've never had any surgeries. Well, I mean, aside from I had a fingernail removed from when I was really, really young. I got a caught in the door or some such, and it was smashed. And so they had to surgically cut it off, the remains. Big whoopsie doodles. And aside from a few fractures, I don't know why I'm mentioning this, aside from a few fractures, never really broken a bone, and not even sure about the fractures either. It is based on my knowledge and how my body felt that I'm assuming that they were fractures, because what are they going to do with a lot of fractures? If it's minor, there's not much they can do, because I fell on a beer bottle once in the Air Force, and for months, that spot right there was sore. So and all they can do if you have a fractured rib, they used to tape them up. Now they just say, be careful. If it starts to hurt, don't do that. So, yeah, I probably fractured the rib lately. And once, when I was my first station, my first base in the Air Force, I had a drinking problem up until the year 2000, massive alcoholic. I remember this one time I was slightly hammered, and they had lockers against the wall. They were not regular closets or set into the wall, they were set out of the wall. And I had the door of the locker open to put my stuff in there, and I can't remember why I fell backwards. I kicked my foot up. I kicked my foot up into the bottom of the open metal door, and it was wham! And for years, those toes hurt. Years, those toes hurt. So I probably fractured them pretty good. Not a clean break, not a break all the way through, but, you know, and thumbs up for that. Just thought I'd mention. There was something that I've wanted to talk about, but of course now I've forgotten it entirely. And I'm very, very sorry about that. In fact, most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about, I've forgotten almost entirely. I mean, I went walkies, and I've been thinking about story stuff, because I'm always thinking about story stuff. As I've mentioned, I've got about, making sure my chair is still facing forward and I'm roughly centered, I've got about 1,000 projects that I'm working on a little bit on each one when I just need to focus on one of them. But I've got the idea stuff in my head. I'm still working on a lot of these things. They're not gone and dead and forgotten as long as I can remember them. I still got some of the book ideas from back when my wife was alive, back when we both worked in 2002. 2003 is when I hurt my back so bad I couldn't work anymore. So I've still got these things. I need the energy and the time and the inclination. How much of my genetic structure is making me do things or not do things that I do or don't want to do? I don't know. I used to have a big fire in my belly. Oh, I had a roaring fire in my belly. I had a typewriter and I typed every day. I went through typing paper like mad. And then I was drinking heavy in the Air Force. And I started drinking more and writing less. And writing less. And writing less. Until about the year, well, it was like the mid-90s. I wasn't writing anymore. I was just drinking. The alcohol put out the fire in my belly. After I got sober, I have been digging through the ashes. That's why I'm still writing now, because I found some embers hidden in the ashes. I don't have that fire in my belly yet. With all the stuff I'm working on, with the way that my brain is recovering, yes, they are being stoked up, those ashes. I have been able to add fuel, but it's not a fire yet. I'm still working on stoking them up. Alcoholism, any addiction, can be a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. It will kill whatever desires you have to do things. You will put all your energy into the addiction, and it just destroys all sorts of things inside of you. If you are struggling with any form of negative addiction, and anything can be a negative addiction, even the safe addictions of the world, like caffeine, such like that, or exercise. If you take it too far, anything can be bad. But if you're engaging in anything that, illicit drugs or alcohol, or even, non-illicit drugs, but there's abuse in them, you don't have to. You can break it. It might hurt. It might be horrible. But it's better than going along that path. You don't want to put out that fire in your belly. Oh my God, I regret so much because of that. I wish I had that fire in my belly. Because now that I got the flames starting to be stoked up, of course, my body is starting to really suffer from the effects of fibromyalgia and increasing age and my injuries. My rechargeable batteries only charge up to 50% every night. So, thumbs up. You gotta do what you gotta do though. You can break the chains of addiction. You can. It may hurt. It may hurt. I had to go through 3, or was it 4, outpatient rehabs before the last one stuck. And I was positive I was going to die until I got to the last one that worked. So it can be done. You can do it. Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, itchy lip and nose. And my apologies for not putting up a new phrase, but still, this one here is, well, it's important. Thumbs up. Definitely. Well, it's going to be a shorter blog, so This is not the movement I make. I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments, my community tab. Going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people. It is arranged because even though I count in American Sign Language, well, you've seen the way my memory works. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. And it's a range of 20 to 25, as you've seen. I think I've already said that part. I'm not reading the comments right now. There we are. Here we go. Russian timing, greatly appreciated. And underscore Huranax, underscore, greatly appreciated. And then we have Stubbs Gaming, thumbs up and thank you. Asta, greatly appreciated. SHR 400, greatly appreciated. Eric Adams, greatly appreciated, definitely a thumbs up. Wolfsbane Hollow, thumbs up and thank you. Tom Dabick, greatly appreciated. And Bailey Snyder, always good to see you in the comments, thumbs up. Carl Ingram, greatly appreciated. Maximiliano Coria, I sure hope I pronounced that correctly. Thank you very, very much. Manuel Stinner, thumbs up and thank you. Jeremiah Johnson, howdy, howdy, howdy. And Colin Rasnauer, thumbs up and thank you. Ross Tiburcio, I bet I'm nowhere close, but thank you. Sebastian Ferris, thumbs up and thank you. The Cat Dog, greatly appreciated. Kamui 1987, thumbs up and thank you. And then we have Reality, ooh, thumbs up. The Verified Guy, thumbs up and thank you so much. Great greetings indeed. I'm having so much trouble just speaking basic English, my apologies. Then we have Joseph Tuxali Gaming, I bet it's not pronounced that way at all, but thank you very, very much. Anna Harvey, that's a lot of stuff about Ireland. I've learned a lot more since that reaction video. A lot more about what went on in Ireland. So yeah, it ain't good. Ron Matula, thumbs up and thank you. American X Panda, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, Rian Tim Maya. I sure hope I'm close with the pronunciation. Bet I'm not, but thank you all so very much. You get me out of my head into the world, dealing with real people, and that is important when you are depressed. Thank you all so very, very much. I started up my channel to help me not die after the death of my wife, to get me out of here, because I was stuck in here, and I don't know that I would have survived. Making up my channel, getting out of my head, dealing with people, made it so I lived long enough to go to therapy and start actually waking up. Thank you all so very, very much. It is greatly appreciated. I am alive, I am here, I am at least halfway sane, and it's all because of you. It is appreciated. And if you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you wanted to help support me but didn't want to send money to one of those two things, I have a PayPal link down below that you could send money to if you wanted to. If you wanted to support me without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list with things like cat food, hamster food, silly things, non-silly things. If you could check that out, that would be very awesome. Do not feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now to the literal end of time. Indeed, truly. Grasping handfuls of sand. Well, I've got this video, in case you didn't notice. I mean, it's possible. I have another video that I need to edit and render. I have to, well, I don't have to, I choose to later record, edit, and render. So hopefully 3 today. Thumbs up for that. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. It is good to metabolize. I enjoy it.